Hello, everybody. So, this time I decided to talk. I wanted to tell you guys a little bit more about myself so we can get to know each other better. So, my name is David, I'm 18, and I started this agency a few weeks ago. I started this because I really wanted to start making some money by the side because I'm a university student. All my expenses are paid for, but I still feel like I need to get some experience in the business world. I need to make something of myself because I can't really be relying on my dad all the time. So let me tell you where my passion for making websites started. Around 2019, ending of 2019, I got into gaming. I was playing a lot of games because by that time I passed my national exam and my dad asked me what I wanted, and I told him I wanted an Xbox. And the reason why I wanted an Xbox is because some of my friends got a PS5, I say PS5, PS2, 3, and one of them had a PS4. So I was like, I heard about this gaming console thing, so let me just get it and see if I would like it. I already knew I would like it, but I was like, let me get it. So I asked him, and to my shock, I still remember this day so vividly because this is one of the best days of my life. I was standing in the hallway. My mom brought her phone because my dad wasn't around. He was like, David, what do you want? I was like, Daddy, please, can you get me an Xbox? He said, how much is it? I said, 150,000. He's like, okay, tell your mom I'm good. Tell your mom, do you want me to buy it from where I am or you want to buy it by yourself? I said, I paused at that moment. That moment really shocked me. I was like, he agreed. I was like, what? He agreed. And I said, yes, I will buy it by myself because there are some specific things I wanted. And in hindsight, now I would have preferred for him to buy it because even though I wanted to buy it by myself and I had some specific things I wanted to buy, I forgot some things like the rechargeable battery. I didn't buy it because it wasn't really in my mind because my mom owned a shop and I could go there and get batteries, but I didn't know that my mom does this kind of seasonal shopping where it's like, okay, this is the demand now, this is the demand before, so this is what I'll get. And Duracell batteries were the only batteries that were working for the Xbox controllers. So those Duracell batteries, they were expensive, and my mom didn't buy that much because most people favored favored Tiger batteries. But I really enjoyed that Xbox. I played it. That was the Xbox brought a lot of problem between me and my dad because every time I was playing it, or I won't read, I won't do this. Xbox. It got to a point he had to start hiding it, but that's another story for another day. So when I got into gaming, like I was addicted. Every single day I played that game. I loved this Xbox like as if it was the love of my life. I couldn't leave it. Couldn't leave it. So I was like, what? How is this games created? Who created this? Why did they create it? How? I want to know so I can create mine. So I ended up transferring to a private school after my stay at a government school. I went to a private school, and during those times, life was a little bit, I won't say bad, but depression, all those stuff at a young age, it just happens. Something you go through in life. So during that time, I was just looking for something to put my mind on. Then COVID hit, and let me not lie, a lot of people say COVID is so terrible, but for me, COVID was very fun because I got to stay home, I got to play my game, and I got to learn new things. 7 months away from school, and those 7 months felt like just 1 week. They felt like a week, honestly. It was just like a blur. During that time, I wanted to learn how to code because I heard from YouTube that it's coding that leads to game creation. So I was learning just a little bit about Unity and all those small coding stuff, Python, Java. Then I told my dad, and my dad was like, okay, that's a very good thing to learn. he went and found me it, well, not him, but my mom went found me a coding teacher, and what I wanted to learn was C++. And when I told him, he was like, no, let me teach you what is called this coding language again, HTML. He was like, let me teach you HTML. And I was like, no, that's not what I want to learn, because that one will not help me to make video games. And he was like, let's start from this one. It's good to start from the basic. I knew that that was not the basic, but I kind of understand what he was trying to do, because they hired him for a job, and it's like, if I tell them I don't know this coding language now, I'm out of a job. So it's like, I understand, and he did really teach me how to use HTML, and my eyes did open to how coding is. So from there, I learned a little bit of HTML, just little by little. Then after the 3 months of the learning period was over, I didn't renew the lesson, because that's not what I wanted to learn. I decided to step back and continue with Unity. So I created a game called, well, let me not say created. I just played around with Unity, so I got something that looks like CSGO. It was called Dust to Dawn. I still have dreams for that game. Maybe if I have enough money, or have enough, maybe I know enough people, I can crowdfund or something, start a game. The game is called Dust to Dawn. It's this kind of game where you are a soldier, like you are a special forces soldier. It's only special forces that play in the battle royale. So it's like Spetsnaz from Russia, Delta Force from America, SAS from Britain, and they are going to be all in a battlefield that rotates from day to night. So many things I put down. I wrote it in a document and all those stuff. So I started focusing on that. I was learning how to create the game. I was actually making some progress. I made a map, but the map I got it like free assets I got from the Unity store. If I can find it, I will show you, but I'm not sure I will find it. I'm not sure I want to find it even. But aside from that, I was really working on it. But when reality hit me that creating a game from scratch with no experience, with no knowledge, no funding, no nobody, I was like, bro, what the fuck am I doing? So I took a step back, like a few months, wrote a script, and I saved the script for any day I would like to make the game again. So after that, I started getting a little bit restless, because I'm a kind of person that I don't like to stay too long without doing something. Maybe once in a while I'll rest, but honestly, it really annoys me if I don't do something, because it's like I want to be something great in future, but I know that if I don't do anything every day, it's like something in me is just telling me, what do you want to do when you're not doing anything at all? It's kind of strange. So after dropping the game development, I decided to go back into my coding classes. This time I didn't get a teacher. I was just watching YouTube videos and all those stuff. Then I learned a little bit about C++, and I was like, oh man, this is not for me. The stress in coding is not for me. I do like problem solving, and I do like the aspects of coding, how cool it makes you look, because that was what in my mind that time. But sitting down just typing. I know you can go to GitHub and other places and YouTube, because that is like what programmers do nowadays. They just go to GitHub or they go to YouTube, find their code, implement it, customize it, and that's that. I know that's what they do, but that didn't really sit well with me. So I went back to Sublime Text, which was the coding platform. I don't really know what to call it, but it's like Visual Code. It's where we do our where we did our HTML code. That's what I was using. I went back to it. I saw some of the code and I started customizing it, and I made a very nice one-page website. And at that point, it did something in me. It just made me feel a lot happier. It just made me feel a lot that I can design something and it's on the internet. Because for me, creating a website is like your imagination. You are bringing your imagination to life. It's so interesting, and I never thought I would be so interested in it like this. I still kept in touch with my web developing teacher because he's like our neighbor, our distant neighbor, and he also comes over once in a while to watch TV, just to talk to each other, just to socialize. So from there, I started learning a little bit more about HTML. As my knowledge grew, I started thinking, isn't there a better way to make websites? Isn't there a better, faster, and cost-effective way of making websites? Because that's the problem-solving side of me. I like to make things easier. I do not, if there's something hard to do and it's involving software, I know there's something easy that you can find that will do the exact same thing. That's just my mindset. If something is hard, find an easy way upon Wix. And I started using Wix. I will take 3 months interval, study Wix, then 1 month off. It's just that kind of thing where sometimes I will have time to study Wix, make a website. Then I will have to go to school, or I'll have to focus on an exam and all those stuff. I won't have time for it. But during the times where I was studying Wix, I really enjoyed it. I don't know. It just made me feel so happy. Knowing that I can think of something in my mind and just paste it on the screen, and it looks what I wanted, and you can show it to friends, family, and it represents what you're thinking. It was very interesting for me. I showed it to him. He was not liking it because it was like it took me 3 years, 4 years to learn this code. That all this thing you are doing it in 1 month. All this thing. It was like, it's not good that you have to learn the basics. And I get where it's coming from. The people who created Wix, they learned the basics. Me, I decided not to learn the basics. I did learn the basics, but I decided to make things easier for myself. So I went into Wix. For 3 good years, I learned a lot about Wix. I created some websites. I redesigned some. I went over to Figma. Anything that related to web development, I was putting myself through it. Sometimes they would see me and they would be like, David, what are you doing? I would just tell them that I'm making a website, because I noticed that the more I talk, the more it starts to make me feel somehow like I'm sharing my passion to people. It's to me, it feels strange because I'm an introverted person. I prefer to keep to myself. So telling people about my passion and maybe something failed, when maybe I'm trying to create a website and the website didn't work out, and I tell them that it didn't work out, they're like, I told you, you're supposed to do it. It makes me feel somehow. So I decided to keep it to myself. So for 3 whole years, I hardly told anybody. The only person that I know is some of my friends in school. So after that 3 years, this year, no, not this year, 2022 was when I got into university. 2023 was when I picked it back up. Because 2022, I had to really focus on school because I had to go and write another national exam for university. That one, it went the way it went. I managed. And when I got into university, oh yeah, by that time, I sold the Xbox. I sold the love of my life. I sold the Xbox because it was giving me a little bit of trouble. I had that thing for like how many years now? 19, 20, 21, 22, for like 4 years. 4 years, and it was giving me so much trouble. The discs sometimes won't come out. The Apex Legends won't play properly. It was only FIFA and GTA I was playing. So I just decided to sell the game. I got some money out of it, and I spent that money in like 3 weeks. I didn't even know how the money just left my hand. Maybe it was grief. I was just trying to get rid of the money or something. But aside from that, after that, I got into university. I decided to link up with some people who do social medias for the school. So when they did that, I decided, okay, let me try and make something like this of my own. Because when I got into university, my mindset started changing like really, really fast. I also clocked 18, so I guess that added to the way I think nowadays. Everything just changed. I decided that okay, my life is good. Look at the way my country is turning out. It's just trash. You can't even expect anything good anymore. So if I'm going to actually make something of myself, I have to start now. Let me leave all those talk of go to school, you become something in school, you become something in real life. So many of of my seniors who finish school, where are they now? I'm not saying school is bad. I'm just saying have something else doing, and that's what I pride myself in. I know how to use. I'm a web developer. I know how to do data entry. I know how to use Figma. I know how to use Canva. I'm a graphic designer. I try to have as much skills as possible. Right now, I'm learning data analysis. Excuse me. I'm learning data analysis. So things like that, I just decided to learn more things, so I won't be stranded in future. Because these people being stranded after being told stories of a successful life if you do social and so is real. And my philosophy is that don't trust anybody. You can trust whoever you want, but whenever you are making a decision about your life, you should realize that when you fail, you are the one that failed. When you succeed, everybody around you is the one that succeed. When we were in secondary school writing our national exam, there was a teacher who said it's better to pass, no, it's better to fail than to succeed in cheating. And those are still the same people who will criticize you if you fail. Like, what are we supposed to believe now? If we pass now and we succeed and if we pass now and we pass with our cheating ways and we become something in life, you will still carry it on your head that okay, this student actually succeeded from our school. It's our teaching that made this student succeed. But if we tried our best and we still failed, you will never appreciate us. So that was not what was on my mindset. If somebody above me gave me an advice, I would take that advice, add it to my own that I'm giving myself, and I'll make something out of it. If the thing actually leads to where I want to be in future, sure. If it doesn't, I disregard their own and take my own. Because I know that if I fail, I won't say this person gave me the advice. I can't even say this person gave me the advice because I'm the one that decided to take the advice. So that's just how I see it. Another thing is that if you have a regret, just better you just keep it one side. Because honestly, regretting something for like I did something terrible, and for like 4 months like this, it was on my mind. 4 5 months was on my mind every single day. Whether you pray, whether you don't pray, it was on my mind. But after I just put it to the side and say, what happened. I'm a changed person. I will never do such thing again. It got better. My mind, I'm always trying to move forward. Like I said, I don't like to stay in one place and ponder about the same thing. So let me get back to my story about how I got into web development. So after I noticed what they were doing, I started my own. I created a website called Unistar. I did it with somebody, and that person he tried to, well, let me not say tried, he fucked me over. I was paying most of the money, I was doing all these things, I made the website, I paid most of the money for advertisement. The guy just canned me out of a lot of money, but I took it as a learning experience. That this is how business is done. People don't care. I could have reported the person, I could have gotten my money back, but after speaking to my sister and after thinking about it, I decided, let me just leave it for the person. The person even threatened me that if I tried to collect my money, I was like, who the fuck are you in the first place? I have all the leverage I can to get you arrested, and I decided not to. I just left the matter. So after leaving the matter, I decided, okay, this web developing, it had really spoiled my mind about it. This guy really spoiled my mind about working with people. So I decided to sit back, think, what can I do? What should I do? And I realized that all these things I've been doing before, all these businesses I tried to start, they didn't go anywhere. And I was not feeling bad, but when I thought about it, I was like, 1,000 people can create a business and only, let's say, 10 in that 1,000 people succeed. It's just the way things are. And let me not lie, what happened to me with that guy, now I take it as a very good experience, to be honest, because now I understand how business is done. I don't just do things without saying anything. I don't do things without research. I don't do things without credibility, because I don't know that guy. Honestly, we were doing the business over phone. We never knew each other. The guy would just call me one day and say, I need so amount for licensing. I need so amount for this. So I was like, bro, I've sent you so much money. What are you doing with this one again? So after that, I actually met a mentor, an entrepreneur who has his own successful business, and I ended up talking to this guy a lot, showing him my business, showing him a lot of things. Then he said something to me. He said that if you are creating these businesses, what else is there that would draw new people in? Then I told him about all these new exciting features, and he now said that, but what is the main feature? What is there? Like, how will I explain this to you people? The way he said it was like, it really made me think, because I was like, I was just starting businesses just because I thought the idea was good, and everybody around me was saying the idea was good, so I decided the idea was good. This guy from outside told me, no, your idea is not good. And it took me like, I'm not joking, 4 days. I was in the living room with book and pen, thinking about just the sentence this guy said. People will not like to use your platform if the existing one is still better, because the idea I proposed to him was a mobile POS, because in my country POS now is popular, something they brought in. So I decided to create this kind of platform where retailers don't need to buy a POS system. They can use their smartphone. If you have a NFC chip, you can use the card to pay. So you just tap your card on the phone and you can use QR Pay to pay. So when I explained the idea to this guy, he was finding flaws, and truly the flaws were there. He did also, it's not as if it's only flaws he was pointing out. He did show me some good things about my idea, like the command system. If you are wary of your customers, because I say wary of it, if you are wary about your employees, you can set a timer that every time by 6 o'clock, send all the money from the account to the main account. And it can do that. You can see all the transactions your customers make, all your employees make. You can pull money from any of the employees. Let's say you have 5 shops all over the state. You can pull money from any shop. You can close the account. You can reopen the account. It's very flexible. And he pointed it out that it was a good idea, but that should be a standalone idea, not rather than having 5 good things inside one app. Because he explained it like this: if you have 100 good things inside one app, what is the main selling point? If you have no selling point, because you can't just say my app is good, use it. You have to start outlining why your app is good. And people don't like things being long. They want straight to the point. Why should I buy from you? And when I realized that everything I've been doing has just been a waste. So because of that, I took like 1 month of thinking. Just went on autopilot, and during those times it really made me feel very strange, because like I said, I don't like staying without doing anything. I like thinking, I like moving, I like trying to learn new things. But that 4 months like this, I was just like, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? A lot of my mates, right? They don't do what I'm doing. They don't think like me. They don't behave like me. They are out there having fun. They will go for parties. They will go for outings. They will, even if they stay inside, they have their phones that they are chatting with. Me, my phone is filled with all these motivational videos, all these business videos. Like, what am I doing with my life? Like, shouldn't I just live my life now so I can work in the future? Because that's what they were telling us when we were small. Work hard now so you can, no, what were they saying? They say so that you can work hard in the future. Enjoy your life now so you work in the future. Because when you work in the future, that future they were saying like 30, 40, 50, then you can retire by 60. And that was not the life I wanted. I don't want to retire by 60. I want to retire early so I so I can enjoy my life. And now that I'm actually trying to do it, I'm seeing that it's not easy. So that 4 months, I really just decided to sit back and try to understand my life. It was very hard, and I would have still been doing that thing if something didn't happen. So let me tell you what happened. One day I went out. I went to go and help my mom in her other shop. So after that, because I didn't want to go, I wanted to stay indoors. I wanted to laze around. I just wanted to be the same old David. Because around this time, I was starting to develop. Actually, I was trying to develop good behavior. Because I know I'm a terrible human being. Let me not lie to you. I'm a very terrible human being. The things that I've done before, it's not good. People, I just yell at you. I was so rude back then. I didn't really want to see anything aside from what I put in my front. So around that time, I was just trying to be alone, think about things, try to be just me. But I noticed it didn't work out. So when I went out, I came home. I came. It was on a Friday. I came home and I treat my phone like shit, name not lie, because my phone don't deserve what I do to it. I throw it. There's a time I slapped it off the bed and the screen didn't break, and I was like, so so the phone didn't break, so I was like, this phone is indestructible. Nothing's going to happen to it, so let me play around with it. So that day I was like, I'm so tired. Let me drop this phone. And I dropped it on the bed. This phone bounced. A somersault, 3 somersaults, 4 somersaults, and landed face down on the ground. The screen cracked. I was already feeling like, oh, what happened 10 times is happening again. So there's nothing to be afraid. When I picked it up, the screen was cracked. Like, oh my god. Like, you know when you shoot a bullet at the edge of a glass, then it spreads into the middle. That's how it was. And I'm like, what the hell? I was so shocked, so devastated. So I showed everybody in the house and I was like so sad. But after that, I was like, what do I do now? I'm not going to tell my dad about this. I'm not going to spend any money on trying to fix this. Should I just continue living my life the way it is? Should I just, because I really love this phone, I really love it. Despite the way I treat it, I really love it. So, but I was like, I can't live with this thing like this. Dana gave me an idea. I've been staying home for so long, I've been doing nothing. Why don't I just use this as a what do you call it, motivation to pursue something? Then I remembered my web development. I was like, okay, I can use this to make money, and maybe I will set my phone, repair my phone screen as a goal. So till now, I haven't repaired my phone screen, and I will not repair it until I make my first money. Then I will repair it. So I'm using it as a motivation tool, and that happened like 2 months ago. I started this. I was really working hard. So that's just it. That's what made me go into this web development. So I kept this at the end so I can just clarify some things. Some of the dates are not correct, like the 4 months ago and the day I got the Xbox. It's been a long time. Another thing is, when I said I started this agency so I can get business experience, what really motivated me to get that business experience was my phone cracking. It really pushed me to learn more about business and how to make money. My English might not be the best here because I'm mixing it with a little bit of broken. I'm stuttering, I'm making some mistakes. That's just how it is. You have to start from somewhere. Maybe I'll get better in scripting and other stuff. I'll try and fix the audio, but that's that. If you ever need a website, you know who to call. You can help me and fix my phone. If you want to tell your friends and family, you can get a 30% off their first purchase. Thank you very much. Ignore the noise in the back. Just thank you.